As Marcus began his first day patrolling Arbor National Park in India, he was buzzing with excitement. The park's lush greenery and the symphony of rustling leaves promised a thrilling adventure, and he was eager to dive in. He had heard about the recent surge in poaching and the park's need for more rangers, so this was his chance to make a difference. The sun was beginning to set, casting a golden glow over the winding trails as Marcus ventured deeper into the heart of the park. The further he went, the more he felt a profound connection with the land. Then, without warning, something caught his eye. Amidst the dense foliage, he spotted a tigress, her golden coat blending seamlessly with the dappled light filtering through the trees. The sight of her took Marcus's breath away. He was frozen with a mix of fear and awe as the tigress regarded him with curious amber eyes. But then the unexpected happened. The tigress approached him and, to Marcus's utter astonishment, gently left her cub in his care. Initially Marcus was paralyzed with shock, but as he gathered his composure, he realized the gravity of the situation. In that moment, he felt a deep, unspoken bond with the majestic creature and her vulnerable cub. It was a moment that would mark the beginning of a remarkable journey in the heart of the wild. The tiger, a majestic creature in distress, signaled that something was terribly wrong. The ranger, moving silently and cautiously, circled to investigate. What he found was both heartbreaking and infuriating. In a secluded clearing, hidden from casual view, the tiger was ensnared by a cruel poacher's trap. The snare, designed to maim, had her in its unforgiving grip. She roared in frustration, her powerful muscles straining against the trap, but it was no use. As the ranger took in the scene, his heart ached with a blend of anger and empathy. The tigress's eyes, full of raw vulnerability, spoke volumes. Then, from the thick underbrush, a small, furry bundle emerged. Her cub, sensing danger, scurried towards its mother, seeking safety. But what happened next was even more astonishing. With a desperate urgency, the tigress nudged her cub toward Marcus, as if she knew that her little one needed protection. Marcus was torn. If he took the cub, he would be interfering with nature's course, but leaving them behind could mean certain death for both. The thought of kneeling next to the tigress to free her from the trap made his heart race. What if she attacked him, mistaking him for one of the poachers who had caused her so much pain? He should call for help and let the park authorities handle the situation. Yet the pleading look in the tigress's eyes was too compelling to ignore. He made a silent decision. He had to act to save both lives. Gently, he cradled the cub in his arms, feeling its tiny body tremble with fear and curiosity. The tigress watched them with a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. She seemed to fear that Marcus might take her cub and leave her behind, but she was mistaken. He was determined to save her too. With steady hands, he began to dismantle the poacher's trap. Every moment was critical, and the tigress remained unnervingly calm, as if she sensed Marcus's intention to help. Finally, with a precise maneuver, the trap released its grip. As the tigress was freed, Marcus saw the extent of her injuries, the result of cruel poaching. Recognizing the urgency, he immediately called for backup. The park's medical team arrived swiftly and, with great care, sedated the tigress and transported her to the veterinary clinic at the heart of Arbor National Park. Under the careful watch of the medical team, the tigress lay on the examination table, her heavy breaths a stark reminder of the severity of her condition. Marcus cradled her cub close to his chest, offering a silent assurance that it was safe and in good hands. The snare's wounds were more than just physical. The rusty metal had introduced an infection that threatened to spread. The medical team worked tirelessly, cleaning the wounds and administering antibiotics, racing against time to save the tigress. Days turned into weeks as the team stayed by the tigress's side, and Marcus, who had played a crucial role in her rescue, felt a profound sense of duty. Each day he visited the veterinary clinic, standing vigil by the tigress's side, hoping with every fibre of his being that she would pull through. Meanwhile, Marcus took on the unexpected role of caring for the cub. The tiny, curious creature became his constant companion, and he named her Tarara, a name that embodied hope and resilience, mirroring her mother's spirit. When Marcus decided to move to India for his 45th birthday, he anticipated adventure, but the reality surpassed anything he had ever imagined. A lifelong ranger accustomed to the wilds of Montana, he had ventured to Ranthambore National Park seeking new experiences. Little did he know that he would become the caretaker of a wild tiger cub, a role almost too incredible to be true. Embracing this new responsibility, Marcus's days revolved around Tarara's needs, feeding her, ensuring her safety, and providing the warmth and comfort she needed. The experience with the injured tigress deepened his resolve to protect the park's inhabitants from the dangers lurking in the shadows. Determination burned in his eyes as he set out to confront the poachers threatening Ranthambore. As a seasoned ranger, Marcus knew that tracking these elusive criminals required not just skill and patience, but a deep understanding of the park's intricate ecosystem. Days melted into nights as Marcus and his team meticulously scoured the dense foliage, searching for any sign of the poachers. They examined footprints, broken branches, and discarded tools with keen eyes. Each expedition sharpened Marcus's tracking skills, enabling him to read the forest's subtle language like a well-worn book. He became adept at spotting faint trails, disturbed underbrush, and other clues of human intrusion. Despite being far from the Montana wilderness he knew so well, the lush vegetation of the Indian park began to feel oddly familiar and comforting. As the days passed, Marcus started to detect a pattern in the poachers' movements. With his seasoned eye, he anticipated their next steps. Armed with this insight, he worked closely with park authorities to craft a strategy. Together, they prepared to intercept the poachers and put an end to their illegal activities. Each night, the rangers patrolled the park with heightened senses and unwavering determination. Leading the charge, Marcus felt the weight of responsibility heavily on his shoulders. The park's residents depended on their vigilance, and he was determined not to let them down. One pivotal night, Marcus noticed a subtle movement in the shadows. The poachers, unaware of the watchful eyes tracking their every move, continued their illicit pursuit. Marcus signaled his team into position with silent gestures. The air was thick with tension as they closed in on the unsuspecting poachers. With swift precision, they apprehended the criminals, catching them off guard. The confrontation was brief but intense. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, the poachers had little chance against the determined team. With the poachers subdued, Marcus and his team escorted them back to the park authorities. Recognizing the seriousness of the situation, the authorities acted promptly, turning the captured criminals over to the legal system where they faced the consequences of their actions. It was a small but significant victory in the ongoing battle to protect Ranthambore National Park. With the immediate threat neutralized, Marcus's bond with Tarara deepened. The cub, growing into a vibrant young tiger, became a living testament to the positive impact of dedicated conservation efforts. After receiving vigilant care from the medical team, the tigress began to show signs of recovery. Marcus divided his time between caring for Tarara and supporting the ongoing rehabilitation of the tigress. Weeks turned into months, and hope burned steadily within the veterinary clinic. Against the odds, the tigress triumphed over her infection, a victory for both her and her devoted caretakers. Eventually, the team decided it was time to reintroduce her to the wild. They planned to release her into a secluded area where they could monitor her progress and ensure a smooth transition. The release would be done in stages. First, she would be on her own to adjust before being reunited with her cub. They wanted her to acclimate to the wild again before taking on the responsibility of caring for her young one, ensuring she wouldn't feel overwhelmed by her recent trauma. With meticulous care, the team selected a hidden, pristine spot within Arbor National Park for the tigress's release. It was a sanctuary where she could reconnect with her instincts, free from the looming threats of poachers and surrounded by ample prey to help her regain her strength. As they prepared for this momentous occasion, the atmosphere buzzed with a mix of anticipation and hope. Marcus, who had played a pivotal role in the tigress's recovery, felt a profound sense of duty. He watched from a respectful distance, giving the tigress space to acclimate to her new surroundings. The transition from captivity to the wild was delicate, and the team stayed vigilant, ready to step in if necessary. With a graceful instinct, the tigress stepped into her newfound freedom and soon vanished into the dense forest, fueling their hopes for her future. In the days that followed, the team kept a close watch on her progress. They provided supplementary food to ease her transition and ensured she had enough to regain her strength. Observing her reawakening hunting skills as she began to thrive on the park's abundant prey was a sight to behold. Weeks turned into months, and the tigress thrived in her new life. Marcus, proud of her remarkable recovery, felt the time had come to move to the next chapter. After evaluating her improved condition and the strength in her stride, the team decided she was ready to care for her cub independently in the vast expanse of Arbor National Park. Tarara, now a spirited young tiger under Marcus's care, was ready to be reunited with her mother. The thought of bringing mother and cub back together filled the team with renewed hope and joy. There was a slight chance the tigress might not immediately accept Tarara, but the team chose to remain optimistic. Their bond had been affectionate throughout the recovery period, though the wilderness might have altered the tigress's feelings. They chose a special place for their reunion, one where both could navigate the moment on their own terms. With a heart full of emotion, Marcus watched from a discreet vantage point as the two figures neared each other. The scene was nothing short of magical. At first, the tigress approached Tarara with cautious recognition. Sensing the familiarity, the cub bounded towards her mother with excitement and reverence. The reunion unfolded with the raw beauty of nature as the tigress nuzzled and licked her cub with deep affection. Watching this tender moment, Marcus felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The journey that began with the tigress's desperate plea for help had come full circle. As the tigress and Tarara retreated into the forest's depths, Marcus couldn't help but smile. The reunion was a poignant reminder of the park's interconnected life. Days turned into weeks, and Marcus continued his patrols with renewed energy. The threat of poaching had lessened, and a sense of calm settled over Arbor National Park. He thought he had seen the last of the tigress and her cub, unaware of what was to come. One day during his patrol, Marcus noticed something unusual. To his surprise, the tigress and Tarara crossed his path multiple times throughout the day. Intrigued, he paused and waited for them to emerge from the shadows. When he heard the familiar rustling of leaves, he crouched down and observed as they approached with purpose. In a gesture that defied explanation, the tigress, with Tarara by her side, circled around Marcus. It was an almost ritualistic dance, a symbolic gesture of connection. Marcus, sensing the significance of the moment, remained still, allowing the tigress to create a thread of meaning between them. Then, in an act that left him awestruck, the tigress approached a nearby tree, pressed her massive paw against the trunk, and left a distinct mark, a touching sign of gratitude and bond. Though Marcus didn't fully grasp the meaning behind the tigress's gesture, he was deeply moved and felt a profound sense of fulfillment. As the tigress and her cub melted back into the forest, Marcus had the strong sense that something truly extraordinary had just happened. The tree, now etched with the powerful imprints of their paws, stood as a quiet witness to the unique bond that had been forged between him and the wild. In the days that followed, Marcus eagerly shared the story of the tigress's remarkable gesture with his fellow rangers and the park authorities. The tale quickly resonated within the community, becoming a powerful symbol of the park's resilience and the collective efforts to protect its treasures. Inspired by the story, the park authorities decided to honor the special connection between Marcus and the tigress with a commemorative plaque. This small but meaningful tribute, featuring the imprints of both human and tiger, was placed on the very tree where the bond was sealed, serving as a poignant reminder for all who saw it. Word of this incredible alliance spread far and wide, capturing the hearts of wildlife enthusiasts, conservationists, and nature lovers everywhere. Though Marcus was initially modest about the attention, he soon recognized the potential of his story to inspire others to support the protection of endangered species and the preservation of natural habitats. Embracing his new role as a conservation ambassador, Marcus reached out to communities beyond the park's borders, sharing the story of the tigress and Tirara. He emphasized how every person plays a vital role in the intricate web of life, turning the tale into a rallying cry that sparked a wave of awareness and responsibility. As the years passed and retirement approached, Marcus returned to his home country. Yet his commitment to conservation remained unwavering. He felt immense gratitude for having stepped out of his comfort zone to explore Ranthambore and cherish the memories he'd made. Leaving Montana hadn't made him forget his beloved mountains and forests. Rather, it had enriched his life with new colors and experiences. His decision to explore new parts of the world had opened his eyes to diverse ecosystems and cultures, adding depth to his understanding of the natural world. Beneath the vast canopy of Ranthambore National Park, the tigress and Tirara continued their journey, their paw prints forever marked on the tree that stood as a testament to their remarkable alliance with Marcus. With a heart full of stories and lessons, Marcus knew his adventure was far from over. The world, brimming with wonders, awaited him, and he looked forward to the new adventures that lay ahead. Who would have thought that stepping out of one's comfort zone could lead to such excitement? What about you? Could you see yourself taking a similar leap? Share your thoughts and reactions in the comments below, and stay tuned for more extraordinary